To give the call to the Honourable the Leader. Order. Order. The front bench will cease interjecting immediately. I give the call to the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition.
Very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Why did the Prime Minister repeatedly promise to cut power bills before the election, but has never mentioned this promise since the election? Given the Prime Minister once stated, and I quote, "If you make a promise and a commitment, you do have to stick to it." Why does he say one thing before the election and another after it? How can Australians be expected to believe anything the Prime Minister says when it comes to the cost of living challenges facing Australian families?
I give the call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the Leader of the Opposition and I welcome him back to the playing field after being. He was the Neil Fraser of the Opposition yesterday. He was a non-playing captain, just observing the team. But today he's back, and that's a very good thing that he's back.
Order.
Of course, we inherited, as the Leader of the Opposition is aware, a circumstance where we had the Russian invasion of Ukraine and we also had supply chain issues, something that was identified indeed by the Leader of the Opposition.
Order.
So I refer the Leader of the Opposition to his own comments, about supply chain issues, the impact they were having on inflation, and also to the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Prime Minister will pause. I'll just hear from the Leader of the Opposition. Point of order.
What's on relevance, Mr Speaker? This was a question about the Prime Minister's truthfulness. Why can't he be believed? He says one thing before an election and does complete opposite.
Resume your seat. The question was about commitments before the election. It was about the issue of cost of living. It was in anyone's interpretation, quite a broad question. The Prime Minister is being relevant. If he's not, I'll pull him into line to the question and give him the call.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. The Leader of the Opposition said this about inflation. Said this. It's a reality of a world where there's inflation. I think Australians understand that. There's a lot of pressure, upward pressure on interest rates at the moment. He went on to say that. The Shadow Finance Minister went on to say, we know the pressures that the international situation and supply chains are putting on inflation and subsequently interest rates.
The Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
The Shadow Finance Minister, personally chosen by the Leader of the Opposition, had that to say in March 2023, in a moment of clarity, and a moment of honesty. And they come in here and pretend something very different.